Today's August 23rd. I just got home. I have not been here for a while, probably a week or so. And I wanted to show an update. While I was gone, some things have changed. I had a watermelon back there. You can see it's laying still. I just took it off. And here is why. The watermelons have been exploding for some reason, and I have no idea why, but they did. So this one, and back there I have watermelons, and my neighbor have been watching over my garden, and she sent me a text saying that the watermelon exploded. So for some reason they burst. In the meantime, it's not a full loss, so still have peppers here growing. Lots of chilies that have formed. And I mean, I don't know why these particular chilies have not been forming before, but for most of the summer they did not produce anything. They were just really stagnant. Now you can see every branch is loaded. They're beautiful. Of course, these are hot Thai chilies, so I will have to figure out what to do with them. They are really, really spicy. And these are regular chilies. So we've got this one and one there. That watermelon still seems to be okay. I cut basil just before I left, so it's beginning to grow again. It's bringing back. I really cut it down. Tomatoes. It looks like this watermelon has completely rotted. So something has happened here, and I don't know what. But it really affected the melons. Over here, I have two young ones growing. This one still seems to be okay. Doesn't look like it's split, still growing. Most of these have dropped off, so apparently the plant only can support one big watermelon. My beans have gone a little bit crazy. You can see they're at my waists now in full production mode, so lots of blooms here, and you can see a little bit of younger ones already formed, young beans formed. So, and oops, there we go. So some beans on the inside. Looks like I'm gonna have to do some harvesting in a day or so. Some tomatoes have also been affected by something. You can see it's almost like the blight is really destroying the tomatoes. They're weird colors. This is not a healthy tomato. They're turning weird colors. So, but I do know that I have blight on these tomatoes, so that's not a good thing. And I have blight on these watermelons as well, so they're affected. These two watermelons still seem to be okay. They did not burst. The really big one in there is also at least it appears to be okay. There's one hanging back there. There's another one here. So, and there's a big one down there. So here you can see actually the damage that's happening, and I have no idea why. Another watermelon was just like this. It was a big rot spot. They rotted and they explode. If anyone knows what's causing these watermelons to rot, please let me know. So we have some tomatoes. Are at least this bush I think is pretty much done. Have some ripe tomatoes, but you can see from the yellow leaves the blight also got to it. The plant is dying. I just picked this watermelon, gave it to my neighbor for watching. And I have two back there and one small one here. So they're still growing. We have another kind of largish tomato, watermelon there. This one is progressing quite nicely. It's a nice size. Kind of like a large cantaloupe at this point. These are the medium-sized tomatoes. This bush has not been producing as well as I would have liked. Looks like my pepper got bent out of control. So I have some peppers on it. If I can keep it upright. So I had two watermelons here, one on one side of the fence, one on the other. And for some reason it either had been knocked down or it fell on its own, and I don't know which one. But I'll go into the yard of my neighbor and I'll pick it up later. And something has affected really. Does anyone know what causes this white powder kind of thing on leaves? It's really on, I don't know what this is, but it's on eggplants and on peppers. I noticed it's really affecting my plants. So I've got another cantaloupe here that's ripening. It's getting ridiculously big. It really is like a really large cantaloupe. I have still a few peppers back there hiding in the dens. A few eggplants have formed, still growing. I have not been here and the soil is really dry. Of course I'll take care of all of this. Looks like my tomatoes are ripening. Both the cantaloupes are progressing nicely. Back there, here, and there is another one. And another pepper. And more eggplant. Looks like another Rosa Bianca is growing. So happy about that. The tomato plants in that pot are really stricken. You can see from the leaves they're not healthy. This is all hit by blight. I'm gonna have to pull all of that out. Actually, there's a lesson learned here. I'm gonna show you. So this tomato plant right here had a lot of really nice formed groups of tomatoes, nice trusses, and the entire plant is completely diseased. So all of these tomatoes, you can really see here. I'll pick one and you can really see. This tomato is really sick, and most of it is just blight. This is what happens when blight hits it. They turn this really funky, and here is a really good example. So this is not a ripe tomato, but if you look at it, it's already rotting on the inside. This is what blight does. It's rotten from the inside. You can't eat it. So now I have no choice but to take all of these plants out and just destroy them. Anyways, alright, so here's my squash. Not a single squash on it. So my squashes have really been a failure this year. Same as my cabbages. Looks like my bok choy had woken up. I planted some bok choy when I replanted the cabbages. My sorrel is doing great. And I have a tiny watermelon in there. pepper is kind of funky yellow-white color. I've not seen this before. And here again, something affected this melon because it's completely rotten. Let's see if I can get, where did it go? So this was a watermelon. It completely rotted. So if somebody knows what's going on, what's affecting my plants, because that should have been a really nice healthy melon. Looks like my cucumbers are in production mode. I just picked 2 huge cucumbers that were hanging on the other plant, and I gave them to my neighbor as well. She has guests staying with her. But cucumbers are definitely in production mode. You can see them. And same with tomatoes. Alright, so I'll deal with this mess in a little bit. So I have, well, looks like my trees are still surviving. These are the mangosteen trees. Okay, these cabbages are really not doing anything. I really need to pull them out. At this point, they're a waste. My cucumber plant here, I picked, like I said, I picked 2 really huge ones, but there are still cucumbers growing and formed. The pepper lost its peppers, which is a shame, but in the meantime I still have little tomatoes here. They're still in full production mode, and oh my gosh, it's covered in bloom. So the tomato plant is definitely in full production mode. My orange trees are still surviving, and for whatever reason decided to bloom again. Now somebody needs to explain to me why I decided to bloom in August. One single bloom. Hopefully it will produce more. I need both male and female blooms. But I don't understand how this tree is functioning, and again something is eating it, because this branch was covered with leaves when I left. Oh, this is frustrating. If anyone knows what's destroying my tree, please let me know. Why it keeps dropping everything. So, got a few flowers back there. Looks like this is awesome. Look at these beauties. These are hollyhocks, but they set out side runners or side stems, and they're blooming yet again. So awesome. Of course, cucumber in full production mode. Oh my goodness, this is what I was afraid of. Holy crap. Oh, they're way overgrown. So I had a neighbor taking care of my yard while I was away, watering, and I asked her to pick cucumbers and harvest, and that obviously did not happen. Such a shame. Now they're overgrown, and they stopped the production of the rest of the cucumbers. Oh well. At least I know they're still producing. And I'm gonna walk over to the bay just to give you a nice shot. Today is so gorgeous. I was driving here and it was really stormy, raining. But I got here and it's absolutely gorgeous, stunning. The bay is nice and quiet right now. It's a little muddy, but it's always muddy. I was told that the crabs are running at full strength right now. And you can see the storm has moved on. It's up north of us. And it is absolutely stunning. And on this note, I'm gonna say goodbye and thank you for joining me.